First contact. The vast emptiness of space stretched before Captain Elena Reyes as she guided the ESS Pathfinder through the outer reaches of the solar system. It was humanity's first deep space exploration vessel, built to push the boundaries of human knowledge beyond the confines of Earth's celestial neighborhood. Elena's dark eyes scanned the numerous displays surrounding her command chair, each one offering a window into the ship's systems and the surrounding void. The crew worked diligently at their stations, the low hum of conversation and beeping instruments creating a soothing ambience that had become familiar over the past 6 months of their mission. "Captain," called out Lieutenant Akira Tanaka from the communications station, his voice cutting through the ambient noise. "I'm picking up an anomalous signal. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before." Elena leaned forward, her interest piqued. "Can you isolate it, Lieutenant?" Akira's fingers danced across his console, his brow furrowed in concentration. "I'm trying, but it's encrypted in a way our systems can't quite decipher. However, one thing is clear, it's not random. This is a message, Captain." The implications of Akira's words hung heavy in the air. The crew exchanged glances, a mixture of excitement and apprehension visible on their faces. They all knew what this could mean: first contact with an alien civilization. "Alert Earth Command," Elena ordered, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. "And begin preparations for a possible first contact scenario. Let's not jump to conclusions, but we need to be ready for anything." As the crew sprang into action, Elena couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. This was the moment they had all dreamed of, the reason they had ventured so far from home. Whatever came next would change the course of human history forever. Hours passed as the Pathfinder's advanced computers worked to decrypt the alien message. The tension on the bridge was palpable, with each crew member acutely aware of the historical significance of these moments. Finally, Akira's console lit up with a series of rapid beeps. "Captain, we've done it," he exclaimed, his eyes wide with excitement. "The message, it's a distress call." Elena moved swiftly to Akira's station, reading the translated message on his screen. The words sent a chill down her spine. "To any sentient species who receives this message, we are the Zarquin, fleeing from the tyranny of the Galactic Empire. Our civilization faces extinction. If you value life and freedom, please help us. Beware the Empire's reach." The implications were staggering. Not only was there intelligent life out there, but it was in danger, and now, potentially, so was humanity. "Can we locate the source of the transmission?" Elena asked, her mind racing with possibilities and potential dangers. Chief Science Officer Dr. Samantha Chen spoke up from her station. "Yes, Captain. The signal is coming from a point just beyond the Kuiper Belt. Given our current trajectory, we could reach it in approximately 72 hours. Elena nodded, her decision already made. "Plot a course, Dr. Chen. Lieutenant Tanaka, inform Earth Command of our intentions. We're going to answer this call." As the Pathfinder altered its course, Elena addressed her crew. "I know we're all feeling a mix of emotions right now. Excitement, fear, uncertainty, I feel them too. But remember why we're out here. We represent the best of humanity, our curiosity, our compassion, and our courage. Whatever we find out there, we'll face it together." The journey to the source of the transmission was tense, filled with preparation and speculation. The crew ran countless simulations, trying to account for every possible scenario they might encounter. As they approached the coordinates, a sense of anticipation filled the ship. "Captain, we're picking up a small vessel on long-range scanners," reported the tactical officer, her voice tight with concentration. "It appears to be adrift." Elena leaned forward in her chair. "Life signs." There was a pause as the officer refined her scans. "Yes, but they're weak. The ship seems to be operating on minimal power." "Bring us alongside," Helena commanded. "Prepare for a possible rescue operation." As the Pathfinder drew closer, they got their first visual of the alien craft. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, Organic lines blended seamlessly with technological components, creating a structure that seemed almost alive. The ship bore signs of damage, likely from weapons fire. "They're hailing us," Ekura announced, his voice filled with awe at the prospect of the impending interaction. Elena took a deep breath, centering herself for this monumental moment. On screen, the main view screen flickered to life, revealing a being that was both familiar and alien. It had a humanoid shape, but its skin was a pale blue, with bioluminescent patterns pulsing across its surface. Large, expressive eyes dominated its face, conveying a mixture of hope and fear. "Greetings," the alien spoke, its words translated by the ship's advanced linguistics systems. "I am Zarkon, last surviving elder of the Zarquin. On behalf of my people, I thank you for answering our call." Elena stood, her posture straight and dignified. "I am Captain Elena Reyes of the Earth ship Pathfinder. We received your distress call and came to offer assistance. Can you tell us more about your situation?" Zarkon's luminous patterns flickered, a sign of distress. "Our civilization has been fleeing the tyranny of the Galactic Empire for generations. They seek to enslave or destroy all who do not conform to their vision of order. We thought we had found safety in this remote sector, but they found us. This ship, it contains the last of our kind, our history, our very essence." The weight of Zarkon's words settled heavily on the bridge. Elena glanced at her crew, seeing determination in their eyes. They all understood the gravity of the situation. "We will do everything in our power to help you, Zarkon," Elena assured the alien elder. "Can your ship dock with ours? We have medical facilities and can offer repairs." Gratitude shone in Zarkon's eyes. "Yes, thank you. But I must warn you, by helping us, you may draw the attention of the Empire. They are relentless in their pursuit." Elena's jaw set with determination. "We understand the risks, but we cannot stand by while your people suffer. Humanity has long wondered if we were alone in the universe. Now that we know we're not, we have a responsibility to extend a hand in friendship and aid." As the two ships began the delicate docking procedure, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of a much larger story. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger, more dangerous galaxy than they had ever imagined. But with that danger came opportunity, the chance to forge alliances, to learn to grow, and perhaps to make a difference on a cosmic scale. Little did they know that their compassionate act would soon thrust Earth into the center of a galactic conflict, challenging humanity to rise to heights they had never dreamed possible. The stars, once a distant mystery, now held both promise and peril, and humanity, led by pioneers like Elena and her crew, would need to summon every ounce of their ingenuity, courage, and spirit to face the trials that lay ahead. As the airlock sealed, connecting the two ships, Elena prepared to welcome the first alien visitors in Earth's history. Whatever came next, one thing was certain: the universe would never be the same again. The gathering storm. The docking bay of the ESS Pathfinder hummed with anticipation as Captain Elena Reyes stood at the forefront of the welcoming party. The massive airlock doors slowly parted, revealing the alien refugees. What emerged wasn't just Zarkon, but a procession of bioluminescent beings, each pulsing with unique patterns of light that seemed to communicate their emotions. "By all that's holy," whispered Dr. Samantha Chen, her scientific curiosity barely contained. "They're not just bioluminescent, they're bioelectric." As the Zarquin stepped onto the Pathfinder, the ship's lights flickered and dimmed. Gasps echoed through the human crew as they realized the aliens were interfacing directly with their vessel's systems. Zarkon's voice resonated in their minds, bypassing spoken language entirely. "Forgive our intrusion. Our species communicates through bioelectric fields. It seems your technology is receptive." Elena, recovering quickly from the shock, stepped forward. "Welcome aboard the Pathfinder. We'll do everything in our power to assist you." As the crew began helping the wounded Zarquin to the medical bay, alarms blared throughout the ship. Lieutenant Akira Tanaka's voice crackled over the comms. "Captain, we've got a problem. A massive object just dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of our solar system. It's bigger than anything we've ever seen." Elena raced to the bridge, her heart pounding. The main view screen showed a colossal structure that defied comprehension, a space station the size of Earth's moon, bristling with weapon emplacements and hangar bays. Zarkon, who had followed Elena, let out a mental cry of anguish that resonated through every crew member. "The Harvester has found us. Captain, you must flee. That station, it doesn't just conquer worlds, it consumes them." Before Elena could respond, the view screen changed, showing the interior of the massive station. A figure stood there, humanoid but towering, easily 3 meters tall. Its body was a fusion of organic matter and advanced cybernetics, pulsing with an otherworldly energy. "I am Overlord Zixkar of the Galactic Empire." The being's voice boomed, a cruel smile playing on its lips. "To the primitive species harboring our fugitives, surrender them immediately or face annihilation. You have 1 planetary rotation to comply." As the transmission cut off, chaos erupted on the bridge. Elena turned to Zarkon, her expression grim. "What aren't you telling us? Why is the Empire so determined to capture your people?" Zarkon's bioluminescent patterns swirled in a complex dance of shame and resolve. "Because, Captain, my people hold the key to immortality. Our bioelectric essence can be harvested, granting extended life to other species. The Empire seeks to use us as a battery for their eternal reign." A hush fell over the bridge as the implications sank in. Dr. Chen, her scientific mind racing, spoke up. "Captain, if the Zarquin can interface with our systems so easily, perhaps we can use that to our advantage." Elena nodded, a plan already forming. "Agreed. We need to warn Earth, but we can't lead that monstrosity to our homeworld. Lieutenant Tanaka, send a coded burst transmission to Earth Command. Dr. Chen, work with our Zarquin guests. I want to know everything about their bioelectric capabilities and how we can integrate them with our technology." As the crew sprang into action, Elena turned to Zarkon. "I won't surrender your people, but I need to know we can trust you. Humanity is about to be thrust into a war we didn't ask for. Are you with us?" Zarkon's form pulsed with a brilliant light, his mental voice filled with determination. "Captain Reyes, my people have been running for generations. Perhaps it's time we made a stand. Together." Over the next several hours, the Pathfinder became a hive of frenetic activity. Dr. Chen and her team worked tirelessly with the Zarquin, making breakthrough after breakthrough. They discovered that the aliens' bioelectric fields could be harnessed to create energy shields far beyond current human technology. Moreover, their ability to interface with computer systems opened up new realms of cyber warfare capabilities. Meanwhile, Elena coordinated with Earth Command. The response was swift. Every available ship was being mobilized, but they were hours away. The Pathfinder and its alien allies would have to hold the line. As the deadline approached, Elena addressed her crew and their Zarquin guests. "In the past day, we've encountered proof of alien life, formed an alliance, and now face a threat that endangers not just Earth, but countless worlds. I won't lie, the odds are against us. But look around you. In mere hours, we've achieved technological leaps that should have taken decades. This is humanity's greatest strength, our ability to adapt, to innovate, to face the impossible and say, 'Watch us.'" She paused, her gaze sweeping across the determined faces before her. "We may be outnumbered and outgunned, but we are not outmatched. Today, we fight not just for Earth, not just for the Zarquin, but for every free species in this galaxy. Today, we show the Empire that tyranny will not prevail. Today, we make our stand." A cheer went up from humans and Zarquin alike, the aliens' bioluminescence creating a dazzling light show that seemed to energize everyone present. As they took their battle stations, the massive form of the Harvester loomed on their view screens. Swarms of fighter craft began pouring from its hangars, a cloud of destruction heading their way. Elena sat in the captain's chair, her voice steady as she gave the order that would echo through history. All hands, battle stations. Let's show them what humanity can do. The Pathfinder's engines flared to life, newly enhanced by Zarquin bioelectric technology. As they accelerated towards the incoming fighters, the ship's hull pulsed with alien energy, a shield of pure light enveloping them. The battle for Earth's future had begun, and with it, a new chapter in galactic history was about to be written, one where humanity would prove that sometimes the most unlikely allies can change the course of the stars themselves. Defiance and ingenuity. The void of space erupted into a dazzling spectacle of light and energy as the ESS Pathfinder, pulsing with Zarquin bioelectric shields, plunged into the swarm of Imperial fighters. Captain Elena Reyes gripped her chair, her voice steady as she called out orders. Tactical, initiate Operation Firefly. Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka's fingers danced across her console. Suddenly, the Pathfinder's hull began to shed what looked like glowing spores. As they dispersed among the enemy fighters, Yuki grinned. Zarquin bio-nanites deployed, Captain. The tiny machines, infused with Zarquin bioelectric energy and human nanotech, latched onto the Imperial ships. Within seconds, fighter after fighter began to spin out of control, their systems overridden by the hybrid technology. It's working, Dr. Chen exclaimed, her eyes wide with excitement. The bio-nanites are rewriting their command protocols. We're turning their own ships against them. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Excellent. Now for Phase 2. Zarkon, are you ready? The Zarquin Elder, now integrated into the ship's systems through a specially designed interface, pulsed with determination. We are prepared, Captain, initiating the synaptic surge. The Pathfinder's lights dimmed as Zarkon and his people channeled their collective bioelectric energy. A wave of invisible energy pulsed outward, enveloping the battlefield. Imperial communications fell silent, their neural networks disrupted by the alien brainwave attack. Imperial fleet is in disarray, Yuki reported. Their coordination is shot. They're fighting blind. But the victory was short-lived. The massive form of the Harvester loomed closer, seemingly unaffected by their tactics. Its weapons charged, preparing to unleash devastation. All hands, brace for impact, Elena shouted. The blast from the Harvester struck the Pathfinder's bioelectric shields. The ship shuddered violently, but held together. Shields at 60% and falling, Yuki called out. We can't take another hit like that. Elena's mind raced. They needed a game-changer, something the Empire wouldn't expect. Her eyes fell on Dr. Chen, who was furiously working at her station. Sam, talk to me. What options do we have? The scientist looked up, her eyes gleaming with an idea. Captain, the Zarquin bioelectric field, it doesn't just interface with technology. It resonates with organic matter too. If we could amplify it somehow, we could disable the cyborg components of the Imperial troops, Elena finished, catching on. But how do we generate that kind of power? Zarkon's voice echoed in their minds. There is a way, but it comes at great risk. We can create a bioelectric fusion reaction. It would unleash energy beyond anything your species has witnessed. But, Elena pressed, sensing the hesitation. But it would require one of us to be the catalyst. The process would consume them entirely. A heavy silence fell over the bridge. The magnitude of the sacrifice hung in the air, underscoring the desperate nature of their situation. Before anyone could speak, a new voice cut through the tension. I volunteer. All eyes turned to see a young Zarquin, barely more than a child by their standards, step forward. Its bioluminescent patterns pulsed with a mix of fear and determination. Zarleth, no, Zarkon cried out. You're too young. The young alien's mental voice was firm. I've spent my entire life running Elder. Let my life have meaning. Let me save our people and our new allies. Elena felt her heart constrict. The thought of sacrificing someone so young went against everything she believed in. But as she looked at the determination in Zaleth's eyes, she knew they had no choice. "If we do this," she said softly, "we do it right. Dr. Chen, work with Zarkon. I want every possible safeguard in place. We're not losing anyone else if we can help it." As the preparations began, Elena opened a channel to Earth. "Command, this is Captain Reyes. We're initiating Operation Phoenix. Be ready to capitalize on whatever happens next." The next hour was a blur of activity. The Pathfinder's engine room was converted into a makeshift bioelectric fusion chamber. Zaleth stood at its center, surrounded by a complex array of human technology and Zarquin organic compounds. As the final preparations were made, Elena addressed her crew and their alien allies. "What we're about to attempt has never been done before. It's dangerous, it's untested, and it goes against everything we thought we knew about physics." In other words, she allowed herself a grim smile. It's exactly what humanity does best. The Harvester loomed ever closer, its weapons charging for another devastating attack. "It's now or never," Dr. Chen called out, initiating bioelectric fusion in 3, 2, 1. Zaleth's form began to glow, brighter and brighter until it was painful to look at. The young alien's mental voice, filled with a mix of pain and exhilaration, echoed through everyone's minds. "For the future." There was a blinding flash and then silence. For a moment, it seemed as if the universe itself held its breath. Then, with a roar that seemed to shake the very fabric of space-time, a wave of pure bioelectric energy exploded outward from the Pathfinder. The wave washed over the Imperial fleet. Cyborg troops screamed as their mechanical parts short-circuited and failed. The Harvester itself shuddered, great sections of its biomechanical structure going dark. "Holy," Yuki breathed, staring at her readings in disbelief. "Captain, the Harvester's primary systems are offline. Its defenses are down." Elena's voice was thick with emotion as she keyed the ship-wide comm. "All hands, this is the captain. Zaleth's sacrifice has given us a chance. Let's make it count." She turned to her tactical officer. "Lieutenant Tanaka, signal Earth Fleet. Tell them to hit the Harvester with everything they've got. It's time to end this." As the combined human and Zarquin forces launched their counterattack, Elena couldn't help but reflect on the young alien's bravery. In that moment of sacrifice, the boundaries between their species had disappeared. They were no longer human and Zarquin. They were simply allies united against tyranny. The battle was far from over, but as Elena watched Earth's ships emerge from warp, weapons blazing, she knew that this day would be remembered. Not just for the victory they hoped to achieve, but for the moment when humanity proved it could stand tall among the stars, facing impossible odds with ingenuity, courage, and the strength found in unlikely alliances. The Pathfinder surged forward, leading the charge against the wounded Harvester. Whatever the outcome, the galaxy would never be the same again. The battle for Earth. The space around Earth blazed with the fury of combat as humanity's hastily assembled defense fleet engaged the wounded Harvester. The ESS Pathfinder, still crackling with residual bioelectric energy, led the charge. On its bridge, Captain Elena Reyes watched the battle unfold with a mixture of awe and determination. "Status report," she barked, her eyes never leaving the tactical display. Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka's fingers flew over her console. "The Harvester's primary systems are still offline, but it's adapting. Secondary weapons coming online. Our fleet is taking heavy losses." Elena gritted her teeth. They needed something more, an edge to turn the tide decisively. Her gaze fell on Dr. Samantha Chen, who was deep in discussion with Zarkon. "Sam, please tell me you have something." The scientist looked up, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "Captain, we might have just cracked the code. The Harvester, it's not just a ship, it's alive." "Explain," Elena demanded, leaning forward. Dr. Chen pulled up a holographic display. "The Harvester is a biomechanical construct. Its core is organic, grown around the enslaved essence of countless species. That's why our bioelectric pulse was so effective. We didn't just disable it, we hurt it. Zarkon's mental voice resonated with grim confirmation. The Empire doesn't just conquer. It consumes, integrating the strengths of defeated species into its war machines. A chill ran down Elena's spine as the implications sank in. So how do we use this? Dr. Chen's expression was a mix of excitement and apprehension. We've modified our comm array to broadcast on the same frequency as the Zarquin bioelectric field. If we can boost the signal enough, we might be able to communicate with the enslaved consciousnesses within the Harvester, maybe even provoke a rebellion from within. But, Elena pressed, sensing there was more. But to generate a signal that's strong, we'd need to channel it through a living conduit. A human mind, augmented by Zarquin bioelectricity. The neural strain would be significant. The implication hung heavy in the air. Another sacrifice. Elena stood, her decision made before the words had fully left Dr. Chen's mouth. I'll do it. Captain, no, Yuki protested. The risk is necessary. Elena cut her off. I'm not ordering anyone else to take this risk. Prepare the interface. The next few minutes were a whirlwind of activity. As Dr. Chen and her team worked to modify the comm array, Zarkon prepared Elena for the bioelectric infusion. The captain sat in a specially designed chair, electrodes attached to her temples. Are you sure about this? Dr. Chen asked, her hand hovering over the activation switch. Elena's gaze was steel. Absolutely. For Earth, for the Zarquin, for every species threatened by the Empire. Do it. Dr. Chen nodded and flipped the switch. Pain unlike anything Elena had ever experienced coursed through her body. Her vision whited out, then exploded into a kaleidoscope of colors she had no names for. She felt her consciousness expand, stretching across the void of space. And then she was inside the Harvester. The interior of the massive construct was a nightmare landscape of pulsing organic matter intertwined with cold machinery. And everywhere, voices, countless minds crying out in agony and despair. Elena's expanded consciousness recoiled in horror, but she steeled herself. This was why she was here. Listen to me. She projected her thoughts, infusing them with all the determination and hope she could muster. I am Captain Elena Reyes of Earth. The Empire is not invincible. We've wounded the Harvester. Now is our chance to break free. At first, there was only confusion. Then, slowly, sparks of defiance began to ignite among the enslaved minds. Back on the Pathfinder's bridge, the crew watched in awe as sections of the Harvester began to glow with multicolored light. It's working, Yuki exclaimed. The Harvester's weapons are powering down. Its hangar bays are opening. Inside the construct, Elena felt the tide turning. The combined will of countless species, long suppressed, was awakening. But the strain on her mind was becoming unbearable. Just as she felt she couldn't hold on any longer, a familiar presence joined her. Zaleth, or rather the essence of the young Zarquin who had sacrificed itself earlier. You are not alone, Captain, the alien's mental voice soothed. Let me help you channel their energy. With Zaleth's aid, Elena directed the rebelling consciousnesses. The Harvester began to tear itself apart from the inside, its own systems turned against it by the very beings it had enslaved. On the Pathfinder's bridge, alarms blared. Captain's neural patterns are destabilizing. Dr. Chen shouted, We need to pull her out now. But Elena couldn't hear them. She was lost in the cosmic symphony of liberation, her mind stretched to its breaking point. Just as it seemed she would be lost forever, she felt a tugging sensation. The combined will of her crew, the Zarquin, and the newly freed species was pulling her back. With a gasp, Elena's eyes flew open. She was back on the Pathfinder's bridge, her body drenched in sweat, but very much alive. Did it work? She managed to croak. The answer came in the form of a massive explosion. On the viewscreen, they watched as the Harvester tore itself apart in a spectacular display of light and energy. Cheers erupted across the bridge, across the fleet, across the entire planet. Humanity had faced its first intergalactic threat and emerged victorious. As the adrenaline of battle faded, the magnitude of what they had accomplished began to sink in. They had not only saved Earth, but had liberated countless enslaved species. The ripple effects of this victory would be felt across the galaxy. Elena, still weak from her ordeal, addressed her crew and their alien allies. Today, we've proven that the strength of unity and the power of compassion can overcome even the most formidable foes. This isn't just a victory for Earth or for the Zarquin. It's a victory for all free beings in the galaxy. As the Pathfinder turned back towards Earth, leading a procession of freed alien ships, Elena couldn't help but smile. Humanity had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, and they had done so not with conquest, but with courage, innovation, and an outstretched hand of friendship. The battle was over, but their journey into the stars was just beginning. And whatever challenges lay ahead, Elena knew that together, humans and aliens alike, they would face them head-on, united in their quest for a free and just galaxy. Echoes of victory. The skies above Earth shimmered with an otherworldly light as the combined fleet of human and alien ships descended through the atmosphere. The ESS Pathfinder led the procession, its hull still pulsing with residual bioelectric energy. As they broke through the cloud cover, the crew gasped at the sight below. Millions of people had gathered in cities across the globe, their upturned faces a tapestry of hope and wonder. Massive holographic displays projected the incoming ships, allowing everyone to witness this historic moment. Captain Elena Reyes stood at the fore of the Pathfinder's bridge, her posture strong despite the lingering effects of her neural ordeal. "Take us in, Helm. Nice and slow. Let's give them a show." As the ships descended, something unexpected happened. The Zarquin vessels began to emit a soft, pulsating glow that spread to the human ships. Soon, the entire fleet was bathed in a rainbow of bioluminescent colors. "It's beautiful," Dr. Samantha Chen whispered, her scientific curiosity overtaken by sheer awe. The light show wasn't just for aesthetics, as they soon discovered. As the glow touched the crowds below, people began to experience flashes of the battle, feeling the emotions and seeing through the eyes of those who had fought. It was as if the Zarquin were sharing the story of their victory with all of humanity. Suddenly, alarms blared across the Pathfinder's bridge. "Captain," Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka called out, her voice tight with concern. "We're detecting a massive energy surge from the debris field of the Harvester." All eyes turned to the main view screen. Among the floating remnants of the destroyed alien superweapon, a swirling vortex of energy was forming. "What in the world?" Elena muttered, leaning forward in her chair. The vortex expanded rapidly, its edges crackling with purple lightning. Then, without warning, it collapsed in on itself with a blinding flash. When the light faded, a single object remained, a sleek, obsidian pyramid about the size of a small car. "Analysis?" Elena demanded. Dr. Chen's fingers flew over her console. "It appears to be some sort of data core, Captain. Incredibly dense storage. If I had to guess, I'd say it contains the accumulated knowledge of the Empire." The implications were staggering. With that knowledge, humanity could leap centuries ahead technologically, but it could also paint a target on Earth's back. Before Elena could respond, the pyramid pulsed with energy. A holographic figure materialized above it, the imposing form of Overlord Zixcar. "Congratulations, humans," the AI construct of the Overlord spoke, its voice echoing across all communication channels. "You have proven yourselves worthy adversaries, but do not celebrate too soon. What you have liberated is but a fraction of the Empire's might. Even now, our main fleet approaches. You have one planetary rotation to surrender the Zarquin and accept Imperial rule, or face total annihilation." The hologram flickered out, leaving stunned silence in its wake. Elena's mind raced. They had just won an impossible victory, and now they faced an even greater threat. But as she looked around at her crew, at the Zarquin allies, and at the millions of humans watching from below, she felt a surge of determination. "All right, people," she announced, her voice steady and resolute. "We've got work to do. Dr. Chen, I want you and a team of our best scientists working with the Zarquin to analyze that data core. Lieutenant Tanaka, coordinate with Earth's defense forces. We need to prepare for round 2. As the crew sprang into action, Elena turned to Zarkon. "We're going to need every advantage we can get. Is there any way we can expand on that bioelectric light show? Maybe use it as a form of instant mass communication." Zarkon's form pulsed thoughtfully. "It is possible, but it would require a massive power source." Perhaps. The alien's gaze turned to the obsidian pyramid. Elena nodded, catching on. "A fusion of your bioelectric tech and the Empire's energy systems. It's risky, but it might be our best shot at unifying Earth's defenses quickly." Over the next several hours, as the planet below erupted into a frenzy of preparation, the Pathfinder became the center of a technological revolution. Human scientists worked alongside Zarquin elders, fusing disparate technologies in ways never before imagined. The obsidian pyramid, once a symbol of imperial threat, was transformed into the core of a global defense network. Bioelectric transmitters were hastily constructed in major cities around the world, creating a web of instant telepathic communication. As the deadline approached, Elena stood before a hastily assembled council of Earth's leaders, her image projected globally through the new network. "We stand at a crossroads," she began, her words resonating in the minds of billions. "The Empire believes they can break us with fear, but will sacrifice our allies to save ourselves. They're wrong. Humanity has always been at its best when united against a common threat. Today, we don't just fight for Earth, but for every free species in the galaxy." She paused, letting her words sink in. "What we're about to attempt has never been done before. We're going to link the minds of every willing person on this planet, creating a global consciousness to coordinate our defense. It will be disorienting, even frightening at first. But remember, in unity, we find strength." As Elena finished speaking, Dr. Chen activated the global network. Across the planet, minds connected in a dazzling web of thought and emotion. For a moment, there was chaos as billions of consciousnesses collided. But then, slowly, a harmony emerged. Humanity, in all its beautiful diversity, found a common purpose. Ideas flowed freely, innovations sparked in real time as the collective intelligence of an entire species focused on the problem at hand. In orbit, the Pathfinder's sensors detected the first signs of the approaching Imperial fleet. But as Elena looked at the holographic display of Earth, now pulsing with the combined will of humanity and their alien allies, she allowed herself a small smile. The Empire thought they were coming to crush a primitive world. Instead, they would face a united planet, armed with the best of human ingenuity and alien technology. The battle for Earth's future was about to begin anew, and this time, humanity would show the galaxy what they were truly capable of. As the first Imperial ships emerged from hyperspace, Elena gave the order that would echo across the planet and into history. "All units, commence Operation Cosmic Shield. Let's show the Empire what happens when they threaten our home." The skies above Earth erupted in a dazzling display of advanced weaponry and bioelectric defenses. The final battle for humanity's future had begun, and the entire galaxy watched with bated breath. Transcendence. The sky above Earth erupted into a kaleidoscope of energy as humanity's united defense met the Imperial onslaught. The Pathfinder, now a nexus of human and Zarquin technology, led the charge. Captain Elena Reyes stood at the helm, her mind linked to billions through the global consciousness network. "All units, execute Maneuver Omega." Elena's thought command rippled across the planet. Instantly, Earth's defenders moved in perfect synchronization, their actions guided by the collective strategic genius of humanity. Imperial ships, despite their advanced technology, found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn. Human creativity, bolstered by Zarquin bioelectric enhancements, proved a formidable match for the Empire's cold efficiency. But the Imperial fleet was vast, and Earth's defenses were beginning to buckle under the relentless assault. Suddenly, Dr. Chen's voice cut through the mental chatter. "Captain, the Obsidian Pyramid, it's reacting to the battle." Elena's attention snapped to the mysterious artifact. It was pulsing with an intense energy, its surface rippling like liquid metal. "It's not just a data core," Dr. Chen realized, her eyes wide. "It's a key to something much bigger." Before anyone could react, the pyramid unleashed a blinding pulse of energy. Time seemed to slow as the wave washed over friend and foe alike. When Elena's vision cleared, she gasped. The battlefield had changed. Ships on both sides were now encased in translucent, shimmering bubbles of energy. "What's happening?" Elena demanded, her mind reaching out to the collective consciousness for answers. It was Zarkon who responded, his mental voice filled with awe. "The Ancient Ones, they've awakened." As if summoned by his words, a massive holographic figure materialized in the space between the warring fleets. It was a being of pure energy, its form constantly shifting between humanoid and abstract geometric patterns. Children of the stars, the being's voice resonated not just in their minds, but in the very fabric of spacetime itself. "Your conflict has activated the cosmic crucible, a test we laid down eons ago for species reaching beyond their cradles." The being's gaze, somehow both distant and intimately present, swept across the battlefield. "Your war ends now, but a greater challenge begins." With a gesture, the Ancient One expanded the energy bubbles, creating a vast, interconnected network that engulfed both fleets. Within this crucible, you will no longer battle with weapons, but with ideas. Each side will present their vision for the future of the galaxy. The victors will help shape the next great era of cosmic civilization. The losers will be remade, their essence redistributed to nurture new life across the stars. Elena felt a moment of panic. They had been prepared for a physical battle, not a philosophical one. But then she felt the surge of billions of minds, linked with hers, each contributing their unique perspectives and creativity. "We accept your challenge," Elena declared, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's united will. Overlord Zixkar's hologram flickered to life, his previously imposing form now seeming small in the presence of the Ancient One. "The Empire has brought order to chaos for millennia. Our vision is one of unity through strength." Elena stepped forward, her form shimmering as the crucible's energy interacted with the bioelectric field, linking her to humanity and the Zarquin. "Unity through diversity," she countered. "Earth has thrived not in spite of our differences, but because of them. We propose a galactic society where all species are free to contribute their unique strengths, where innovation and compassion go hand in hand." As Elena spoke, the crucible came alive with imagery. Holographic visions of Earth's history played out, its triumphs and mistakes, its art and science, its endless capacity for growth and change. The Zarquin added their own stories, tales of persecution and resilience. Other alien species, freed from the Empire's control, contributed their own unique perspectives. What followed was a debate unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. Ideas clashed and merged, philosophies were tested and refined in real time. The crucible became a forge for a new galactic vision, with every participant, human, Zarquin, and even Imperial citizens, adding to the tapestry. Hours stretched into days as the debate raged on. The Ancient One watched silently, its inscrutable gaze taking in every argument, every proposed solution to the challenges of cosmic coexistence. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the Ancient One spoke again. "The crucible has tested your worthiness to shape the future. It has found potential." With another gesture, the energy field began to dissipate. Ships from both sides found themselves transformed. Imperial vessels shed their weaponry, morphing into exploration and diplomatic craft. Earth's defensive platforms became beacons of communication and cultural exchange. "The age of empire and isolation is over," the Ancient One declared. "You will go forth into the galaxy not as conquerors or conquered, but as explorers and diplomats. The real work of building a just and thriving galactic community begins now." As the Ancient One's form began to fade, it turned to Elena. "Captain Reyes, your species has shown remarkable adaptability and compassion. You will lead this new era of exploration and cooperation. The cosmic crucible will remain, a tool to help mediate disputes and foster understanding between worlds." With a final pulse of energy, the Ancient One vanished, leaving behind a transformed galaxy. Elena looked out at the scene before her, former enemies now allies, a universe of possibilities stretching out to the horizon. She felt the weight of the responsibility placed upon humanity, but also the incredible potential it represented. "Well," she said, a smile playing on her lips as she addressed the still-linked global consciousness and their new galactic allies, "it looks like our journey is just beginning. Who's ready to explore the stars?" The response was a resounding chorus of excitement and determination, echoing across Earth and into the vast expanse of the cosmos. A new age of galactic cooperation and discovery had dawned, with humanity and their allies at its helm. As the Pathfinder prepared to lead the first diplomatic mission into the unknown reaches of the galaxy, Elena couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. They had faced extinction and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. The future was unwritten, full of challenges and marvels beyond imagination. And humanity, united and standing tall among the stars, was ready to meet it head-on.